Is it time to get carried away?
Well, certainly if you're an ex-pro like we are, no is the answer. But you want the Liverpool fans to be happy. They're deliriously happy at this moment in time, and that's a great feeling to be. You'd rather be where they are than 7th, wouldn't you? So it's a wonderful time, but of course you can't get carried away because we know what happens.
Because you wonder what they were thinking at the start of the season.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, end of Jurgen Klopp's tenure, somebody new coming in, probably not unsure of what it was going to look like.
It's not supposed to look this easy, is it, Alan?
Didn't buy anybody. I mean, they bought Chiesa in really last night. They got let down by Zubimendi, didn't he? But that's a thing of the past now. They've got money to spend. Financially, they're in a really good position. You think whether they'll look in January at strengthening the side, I have no idea. But the sporting directors are doing a wonderful job. The manager is. So they're really flying high at the moment. Long may it continue.
What does it say about Gravenberch that no one's really talking about Zubimendi anymore, are they?
That guy's outstanding. I know he's just come in and at times he just flies under the radar, but the job that he does is quite incredible, and just week on week you just see him growing in stature. His quality's obviously there. Perfect.
Arsenal without a win in 3. Man City have lost the last 4 in all competitions. Arsenal away at Stamford Bridge tomorrow. Steve, how do you see it all shaping up now? Well, yes. How many horses are in this race? Are you putting Forest in there?
Nottingham Forest have had a fantastic start to the campaign, haven't they? All of us love it when Chris Wood scored in all those goals. Whether it will continue, I think
Newcastle won't.
I think it's debatable. I mean,
tomorrow.
Newcastle, they're the standard bearers, aren't they? They're the team I think we all have to look out for. No, Newcastle are there, but of course Liverpool, Manchester City, Chelsea is starting to make look as if they're playing, but they've got a huge game tomorrow at Arsenal, isn't it? And suddenly you don't want to be 10, 12 points behind Liverpool, do you? Because they don't look as if they're going to stop at the minute. It's not like an outsider's at the top of the league, which sometimes happens. The best teams are at the top of the league, so you cannot lose points to them, at any time really throughout the season.
If Arsenal lose tomorrow, they'll be 10 points off the pace, Alan. Would you be writing them off at that point?
Brilliant. Possibly. I mean,
do you remember when you said to Macca earlier, answer the question?
Yeah, you just got me back there with the 2-footer to say that. Look, 10 points, as Macca says, like, to be that kind of distance behind teams such as Liverpool, who you feel as time progresses they're going to get better. It's a huge margin. I mean, you really can't afford to drop any other points after that moving forward. So it would be difficult. Have they got the ability to claw it back? I think so, but it depends what happens round about them.
There were so many questions about them, as we said to Arne Slot before the last international break. He wanted to be very cautious about where they were. But the way they've come through it, Macca, that proves that they can stay the course, do you think?
Yes, I think so, because they've done it before. This group of players have been long into a campaign. Some of them have won the league. They've won the Champions League. They've been to many Champions League finals. So, of course, they can sustain it. I don't think there's any problem with that. But you go back to the same old adage, they need to be consistently well, which they seem to be. They're playing the best teams. They need to stay fit. If they stay fit and roll that starting 11 out and the 3, 4, 5, 6 off the bench, of course they'll go all the way. But they just need to be. You just need to be, secure in what you do. You need to train well. You need to work hard. You need to have we keep going back to this little bit of luck. You need luck in keeping your best players free from injury. And if they do that, of course they'll go long. They get to January, the transfer window opens. As I said, that's when you pick and choose whether you strengthen or whether you don't strengthen, whether you spend the money now. But they've everything is in place for them to have a really good season. A lot of the hard games are out the way, and they've got great games coming up. The derby, they've got Real Madrid, they've got Man City.
They're the next 2 home games, Real Madrid and Man City. I mean, what a run of fixtures to come back to, Alan.
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
City game's such a standout now, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. I mean, some huge games, and that's what you expect with one of the best teams in the league. But what I like even about Arne Slot and the way he talks is I don't think he'll let the level slip, because he just wouldn't have that. You listen to him talking about the training sessions, everybody turns up, they buy into it, they give 110%, and if you're there at that level consistently with the talent that they've got within that changing room, these games coming up will be unbelievable.
You talked about the talent in the changing room. Do you think that he's just constantly making individual improvements as well? Are you seeing that all over the pitch?
Well, yeah, he's you see him even it was like a breath of fresh air when a manager comes out, and he was even critical about his sides. We need to do this better. We need to close the goalie down a bit better. We need to press a little bit more. So he's constantly tweaking and making his team. He's not the perfect sides, is it? So he's always thinking about you know, what I need to do to improve, and that's a lovely thing to keep striving forwards, isn't it? He tinkers with the team. Curtis Jones in next week, might be Szoboszlai in, Gakpo's in next week, it might be Diaz in, and that's a lovely problem to have, because everybody will play their part. Because if they go deep and long into these tournaments, as I said early on, they're going to be playing 60, 65 games, and that's what you want to be doing, because that means you're successful. That means at the business end of the season, you're still playing and you're fighting for trophies.